should all absolutely unreservedly condemn attacks on homeless, vulnerable asylum seekers. And talking to people in the locality, it is absolutely clear that politically motivated far-right activists were down in the area actively spreading false rumours, stirring up fears and ratcheting up the aggression and the threats against the asylum seekers in the encampment. And we need to absolutely oppose that divisive, hate-filled racism. But I have to be honest, Minister, and say a very, very considerable amount of the responsibility for that situation that developed and other situations developed lie at the door of this government and successive governments. First of all, for leaving hundreds of people homeless, living in tents when the state has an obligation to provide them with somewhere to live. Secondly, for failing to deal for now over a decade with the absolutely dire housing and homelessness crisis, the scandal of tens of thousands of vacant and derelict properties which could be refurbished in order to address that crisis and provide housing for all. I am struck by the conversations I had with people from the Pearse Street area, from the flats, who were absolutely appalled with what was done, but said insofar as the far right gained certain traction for their poisonous and divisive ideas, it was because of years and years of neglect of that area. Right beside the encampment, for example, St Andrew's Court, where locals were detenanted in 2019. There have been years of promises to refurbish St Andrew's Court for social housing, but with a government with a record budget surplus, with a £1 billion underspend on housing, has not yet approved the money to refurbish that 5 years on. But the government leaves the door open for the far right and their poison if they fail to deal with the deprivation and the housing problems and the dereliction in areas like Pearse Street and many other working class areas.